it's either going to be a success story that I can share, or the struggle I get to share to allow people to see the side of me that got me in the position I'm in. And for that reason, they're able to love you because they understand what you went through to get where you are. And what I would like young men to understand, if they're struggling right now, if they're having a hard time, they should know that what they're going through today is the thing that they're probably going to talk on a podcast about when they become successful. And it's so true, man, because it's like, I've never watched a movie worth watching where the main character didn't go through a down period. Amen. I was actually just telling a guy that earlier today. He's struggling in his business, and I'm like, man, I know how you feel because I've been there, but let me tell you something. One day you're going to look back at this version of you, and you're going to be so fucking proud of him that it's going to damn near bring tears to your eyes. And when I think about myself building my business and how many times I was on the brink of failure, or how many times I lost money, or how many times that I just didn't think I had what it took to make it because I was just getting hit so hard in so many directions, the 38-year-old version looks at the 28-year-old version of me and I'm like, number one, son, I am proud of you. Thank you so much. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Talking to myself. And I think that guys forget that. You know, I got to 30 and I had all these goals I had set for myself at 24 that I was not yet qualified to make. And so when I got to 30 and I thought I'd be a multimillionaire, I hadn't hit it yet. I hit it a couple years later, but it was really hard on me. You know, you're talking about I wasn't mad, I was down. It felt like I'd been punched in the gut, and I had to get off the canvas. And I even found myself down $1 million at one point, and my whole identity was tied around the steel business. I was a fucking Dookie Howser of metal buildings. I was the youngest board member on the national board for metal buildings, and if I failed, then all of my mentors would have known. And it was tough. And they always say it gets darkest right before the dawn, and that was very true for me. And I made a couple of pivots that I had to make, a couple changes to the business that I was almost forced to make, and it was the most profitable decision I made in my life. And without going through that fire, I wouldn't have been able to come to those decisions. And for that, I'm eternally grateful that I never quit. But I'm grateful the younger version of me. Yeah, it's
speaking to yourself as if you're your own son. That's actually a psychodrama exercise.
Is it?
Yeah. My mom's a psychotherapist. We often talk about such concepts. It's actually an exercise, especially when people are so hard on themselves in difficult times. To say, look at yourself right now and imagine you're talking to your own son. What would you tell? Would you be that hard on your own son? Come on, motherfucker, get the fuck back out. Or would you have a little bit more empathy? That is really, really
depending
helpful.
on the subject, yes.
Depending on the subject. Exactly.
Depending on what the subject is, yes.